Hello and welcome to another update video about Ethereum. Ethereum hasn't really moved. It's basically frozen at this 1210, 1215 level range. Yeah, so it's not really moving at all. We are still waiting for a confirmation where we are heading. Again, we need to distinguish here between really short-term, very short-term, medium-term, and so on. So I'd like to start this video on the daily chart. We haven't looked at it for a while. Just want to remind you of the critical levels, then we dive into the lower level time frame because not many things have changed really on the shorter time frame. Bear in mind this scenario we've been talking about since June basically, that we had here our wave 1 to the upside that is still valid. That would indicate that we will not see the June low again. That scenario was for me very likely until, so here wave 1 up, wave 2 down. We had here a reversal area in which we reversed. Until here, let's say until here, this scenario was for me very likely. And it's still possible. The $1,000 level remains key. But something that was very likely has turned into something that is still, in my opinion, possible, also probable, but certainly is being challenged now. And the reason is 9th of November. Yeah, I believe had we not had that FTX collapse, we wouldn't have come down like that. And this invalidated our then scenario. So we had here on the higher level, this is still valid, but we had our wave 1 to the upside. And the assumption was at the time that this was a wave 2, A, B, C. It worked out spot on. We reversed here and so on. In the end, I'm quite pleased. Took some profits up here. The remaining positions were stopped out that were entered here. That was all fine. However, looking at the higher level scenario, it is certainly being challenged. Because what in this bullish scenario, yeah, again, which could take us eventually to around $3,000, that's still possible, but it has been challenged because ABC, yeah, we came down. This could have been the wave 2 low, which I had to move now down here. This move up should have been a wave 1 of 3, and we should have held support in a wave 2. We didn't. If you remember, on that day we had a massive sell-off due to FTX that invalidated the imminent 1-2 setup of wave 3. However, we never broke the $1,000 level, and that is really important. We never broke that. So technically this could still be an A wave. We moved up in a B wave, and this here is all still a C wave. It would be a short C wave because it needs to hold above $1,000 to, give this scenario a certain likelihood. Below $1,000, and that is what I've been talking to you about, for weeks about. Below $1,000, this sort of, let's call it bullish scenario, is not going to work out. Below $1,000, I'm quite confident we're going to retest the 880 level, which is the June low, and will then hit the $650 level. It is just what it is, and that is why I'm using certainly stop losses when entering any long positions here with Ethereum. And whenever we come back into this support range in which we currently are, I'm entering long positions and then take profits as we go up. Yeah, we did that on the way up here, we did that on the way up here, and we did that on the way up here. Important was to set stop losses so that and to move stop losses back into profit. And I've just entered new long positions a couple of days ago, took some profits yesterday, and that's how the support area is very well defined here. But again, if it breaks, we're gonna see much lower levels. Therefore, I think it's crucial to use to use stop losses. And in terms of dollar cost averaging, I can only talk about what I do. I'm very careful with DCA at the moment with Ethereum. I do DCA, dollar cost average, but I'm very careful. I leave cash aside for a confirmed low and for lower lows. Yeah, so if I do ETH DCA now, it is basically pocket money, but I'm leaving the larger chunk aside for either one more low, where prices are getting more attractive, or for a confirmed bottom, which means if we have a proper 5-wave move to the upside and 3 waves down. So at the moment I'm still careful, yeah, especially as Bitcoin hasn't made a confirmed low. But this is the scenario, you know, wave 1 up, wave 2 down is valid as long as we're holding above $1,000. Please be aware this is reduced in likelihood after the 9th of November. We talked about that. And if it doesn't work out, if we break below $1,000, well, then this was just a corrective move up. And I did tell you before that this is not a very clean impulse, which has occurred to the upside there. It is to be considered highly likely something bullish due to the strength. I mean, it moved up from around $880 to $2,000. But this can be counted very easily as a diagonal pattern. You know, they are less reliable. Or this is a diagonal, yeah, if it is bullish. And it can easily be counted as corrective pattern. And in that case, we are now in an impulse down. There's no way of knowing that until we break below $1,000. So if we hold it, we'll know we did hold it. And this is bullish. But if we break it, then we know that this was just a corrective move up. And we're basically in an impulse down. But hey, let's go into the lower level price action time frame. So here we are still in this mess. I might just, I might take one of these scenarios out just to keep it simple. I'll take the green count out because I know a few people get not frustrated, but confused with all these scenarios, even though there's really only two. But I still take one out, and I'll explain to you the two main scenarios that are still possible and what are the key pivot points. So in my opinion, we have two scenarios that can happen here in the short term. So the first scenario is this ABC pattern in red, ABC. We turned in the support area and we could now be moving up in a C wave that would need to be an impulse, and it should take us above 1350 into the region 14 to 1500. Afterwards, I would expect one more wave down, and then we have a decision here at the $1,000 level. Are we holding it or not? Yeah. Then we've got the bearish pattern. The problem is, if we don't make that higher high now, if we don't get above 1350, then we are in the bearish pattern. And the bearish pattern would be basically what I showed you on the higher time frame, would be an impulse to the downside. So in that case, we came down here in 5 waves, came down to 1150. We're now moving up. That was a wave 1 down. We're now moving up in a wave 2. It could stop at 1270. And next we would come down in a wave 3, most likely break the $1,000 level, move up in a wave 4, and then in the last wave down, break the June low, most likely. That is how it would ideally play out. That is the bearish count, and these are the two options. So if we now break above 1350 or not, will tell us a lot about how ETH is probably going to move in the next few weeks and months. Okay, for a more bullish interpretation or view, we should get above 1350. Don't get me wrong, even if we get above 1350, there's no guarantee the $1,000 level will hold, but it is much more likely. Okay, bear in mind, I still expect another low for Bitcoin, so just for the context. But yeah, here off this low a few days ago at 1150, we've now moved up. I would expect still in the bullish and bearish count to continue the bounce, to move higher. In the bearish count, I would expect to get maybe to 1270. Then we have the next decision point there, and that could work out as an A, B, C pattern. Ideally, I would like to go down into this support area. Let me go to the 1 hour chart. Ideally, I would like to go into this support area, which is based on Fibonacci support levels, and it's located between 1165 and 1192. From here, I would expect the bounce then in the wave C, because it could work out. Wave A happened to the upside, wave B is still going to happen, and wave C to the upside straight away afterwards. That we go up straight away without coming into this area is for me less likely, but possible. Unfortunately, we are just consolidating sideways, which doesn't show a lot of weakness, so it is certainly possible we're just holding this level. We are in a range at the moment. There's no way of telling if we are getting down here or not. But if we break below 1205, that is the signal we need. Then we will get into this area with a very high likelihood. If we break above 1225, then we will most likely get to 1270 and then have our next decision point. Then we have our ABC pattern. And I don't know if this was already the wave B or will come down into this area. Certainly, if we will get into this area, I'm going to scale in long. Okay. With a stop loss below it. This is the bearish case. In the bullish case, short term, it would work out in very similar ways. the bullish, or let's not call it bullish case, it would just mean the wave C in red, which would take us above 1350. That's the second scenario. There's only two really that is worth talking about here. In this scenario, it is very similar to the blue count here, ABC, but we wouldn't call it ABC, we would call it a 5-wave move up, so it would be the wave 1. So the wave A is basically the wave 1. Their sub count is similar. The wave B is the wave 2. So what I told you about the wave B applies to the wave 2 as well. So either we go up straight away or we come down into the white area and then go up. Then we'll get a wave 3 up, a wave 4 down. However, this is where they differ, these counts. And we should get one more wave up in the wave C. This is where they differ. So we will expect 3 waves anyway. But then the red count would include another 4th wave down and a 5th wave up, which should take us above 1350. And we won't know that until we reach the 1270 level and look at what kind of pullback we get to the downside. But yeah, and then it's all about, how is this going to be traded? I just told you where I would scale in and where I would set my stop loss. So I already entered here a couple of days ago, because I expected a bounce either way to the upside, made you all aware. And now we've got the next possible setup here. And unfortunately, it needs a bit of patience here, this sideways movement. Okay, so I hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership and also make sure you check out our Instagram and Twitter. There's additional content every day, trading tips, quotes, and mindset stuff. And if you're interested, also check out our trading course that we offer on morecryptoonline.com. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.